Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
Driftwood Brewery, Esquimalt, crafting world-class beer since 2008. This is where beer is made. With care, intention, and respect for the process, every batch reflects the place we're from and the standards we hold ourselves to. And this is where it's enjoyed. Our tasting room, offering a rotating lineup of West Coast favorites and seasonal releases, right here in Esquimalt. Paired with Thai-inspired food from Dumpling Drop, we're open 7 days a week. Driftwood Brewery, great beer, confidently made. Cheers.
The bar will be open now at 2 o'clock. We'd also like to thank our sponsors today. The lead sponsor is Best Western. Would also like to thank Driftwood. You can get their beers in the bar that's now open. Bel Air Direct and AMJ. Good curling and teams. The ice is now yours. Good luck.
All right, looks like we're underway, Mark.
All right, looks like we got the first rock and play. Hello and welcome to Curl BC Provincials. So we got Cam DeYoung's team versus Jim Cotter, or Wood, I should say.
Yeah, Jim is throwing last for Wood here. I know Wood's throwing lead rocks and calling the game. So, I mean, Jim is obviously very experienced in that role, so
yes,
it makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
think it made a lot of sense for Wood to come out here and throw a center guard. This is Cam's first time on the ice, and Wood and them played this morning, and they seemed like they had a pretty good control on the ice. So I'm really not surprised by the start here.
Ah, makes sense. Play the ice out, see how it feels.
Kind of thinking that once Cam's able to, he's probably going to be peeling a little bit, trying to open it up, because I would assume they're probably going to want to start here pretty not too aggressive, just not knowing the ice that well.
Yeah. Probably go for a couple clean ends first off and then go from there. Corey Chester throwing second rock.
Yeah, with Brad Wood going through there, this is already a pretty good start for Team Jong here if Corey can put this in another good spot.
Yeah, Sterling seems a little concerned there. Oh, wow, look at that curl. A little bit of a wick here, maybe. Ooh. That opened it up for a double.
Don't know if he can get quite thin enough to make the double, but he can definitely get under here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed from the first draw was there was a lot of late finish. If you put a good set on the rock, you were delaying that break point until almost the hog line at the far end. So it's if you throw it positive, it definitely takes a long time to finish. Tim March is first here.
Oh, hold it straight. Wow, just a little rub.
I think Brad got a little bit confused there on the line call. He called Connor to curl it, and then all of a sudden it was a little bit of panic that actually we have to hold it straight. Alex Horvath throwing second here for Team Jong. He was on the team last year, throwing third rocks last year, but he's moved down to second with the addition of Sterling.
Yeah. Second works pretty good for Alex. He's got a good range of capabilities there, but so nicely thrown top guard.
Yep, that's really good from Alex.
Just leaves the inside node on that back rock open. Possibly? No, just opting to chip the top red. A little more ice.
Yeah, a little more ice from the experienced Tim March. Obviously, he's been to a lot of Briars, played in a lot of big games. I think they're just trying to get close to nose here and just leave a rock top 12, take out one of De Jong's rocks and go from there. But that's two in a row wrecking on the guard.
Even with that extra ice, yeah. They really are finishing hard right at the, like, maybe even just a bit before the hog line.
Mm-hmm.
Alex with his second rock.
One thing back to Alex's skill set, obviously he played lead for the first couple of his BC championships, and I think one thing I've noticed playing second the last couple of years has been just how much of the touch game has come down to the second position now. With the 5 rock rule. I think a lot of the times that your best hitter was playing second. Well, nowadays I really think that your best hitter is probably playing third, because you can't really bail until you get to that spot anyways. I think Alex's skill set fits really well in at second, because obviously Alex can still hit, but his touch game is up there with some of the best.
Yeah, really leaning into that to hold the line. March and managed to get the double at the back, but unfortunately, well, it's not too bad actually.
I believe De Jong is still sitting 1 and 2 there.
Yeah. They hit and roll, but leave the center open. Cam does have the hammer, so Sterling with his first rock.
Yep,
So
the addition. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Sterling's new to the team this year. He's been curling a long time, but he's been in the BC provincials and nationals quite a couple times now. So it's a good addition to the team.
Yeah, really good addition, and he has good experience playing with Alex on those teams, playing with Tardy, and then moving on to a couple other skips in Gauthier and Catlin Schneider. So he's got a lot of big game experience. And that's a really good draw from him.
Yeah. Mostly covered behind the long guard there.
And this is Connor Dean throwing third rocks for Team Wood. Connor was actually skipping his own team last year at the provincials. He lost in the 3-4 qualifier to Cam DeYoung. So he definitely knows the moment.
Just a little roll inside, gets second shot. No, third shot still. Cam's just going to remove that again anyways.
Yeah, I think Cam's pretty happy with the situation right now.
Yeah. Corey pushing it a little bit here. Just making sure we got contact. I don't think that's third shot though. Blue might actually be third still.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I think it's third shot as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting call. If they can get down there, that would be a good opportunity for a steal.
Yeah, I would assume with them seeing Connor throw and then Sterling's there, they should have a decent idea to play this pretty aggressive. And you're right, try to get that to, I don't know, maybe top button, back button area buried in.
Somewhere behind those, the blue and red.
Mm-hmm.
Blue and red rocks there. Try to get some cover.
Yeah, I would assume they're gonna play this roll pretty aggressive. Gotta roll over there somewhere.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot other options here. Drawing, there's not a lot of room to try to draw behind that back red.
Yep, so Jim Cotter's first here, looking for the hit and roll.
We'll generate something with a point. And, it just might be a bit too much, too thin. Cam's just calling for a freeze on his top red.
Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I think Jim will probably be playing that short little run back, right back on the nose, his blue onto red.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of all he has. And there's this sneaky world where if Cam makes this really good, there might be a 4-ball out there.
That certainly makes things interesting. Doesn't really give Jim an option to remove these, because if he does make this freeze, Jim can't play down to it and end up without giving up 2 anyways.
Mm-hmm. It was Cam DeYoung's first, coming around the corner guard, trying to lie 3 buried. Might be able over curling a hair and looks a
Might be.
little
It looks like
light.
they're really struggling to hold this line. Okay, it's good for fourth shot. Yeah, Jim's gonna raises the blue, takes the red off the back. Then it'll be 1 and 3 if things work out. But it does leave a.
You're probably going to leave a double back if
yeah.
And it's for 3 anyways. So it looks like Jim is going to try to draw around their back 4. And like we were saying, with that late finish, I do think he can probably get at least 3/4 buried back 4. So
Yeah. Any ideas what her running time on the ice here is today?
I don't. I haven't got a time yet, but I know from playing in provincials and past with Mike Merklinger making the ice, it's usually pretty quick.
Yeah. I'll have to take my stopwatch out here in a few minutes, see if we can get a time.
Jim Cotter's last year, facing 2 and trying to come around back 4 to put the force on.
It's out there, but there is going to be a late finish. Might be a bit up, though. It looks like it's got good pace.
I got 13.8 on this, and it looks like it's... Wow, this just...
Wow.
Dope.
What a shot.
That is very good from Jim.
Wow. Half a rock, third of a rock there.
Yeah, I think you were almost always going to leave this shot that Cam's going to be trying, but that's a really good effort from Jim.
Yeah. Cam's opting to raise the blue. Interesting.
Yeah, trying to hit the blue maybe 3/4 here onto the red, and if he hits it in the right spot, it might be for 4.
Yeah. Why not go for it at in the first end? I mean, as long as he makes contact with that back blue, he's going to get at least 1 point, so may as well try to get the 4.
100%. I think even if he was just trying to pick out that blue that Jim just threw for 2, I don't think that's it either. That's not exactly a gimme of a shot either, so I like this call.
No. Just has to catch that a little bit low side. Corey thinks that's up a little.
On and off. It's really close.
Well, not bad. Wow, great shot. What a first end. Well, that's... Well, we're going to see that again.
Yeah, playing with and against Cam for a long time, he makes a lot of these big shots. I kind of feel like that's what he's known for, and this was just a beauty. They were on and off the whole way, and it made it perfect.
Yeah, great shot. Yeah, Cam pulls that shot out in our Super League in Victoria all the time.
The Kia Victoria experience is a different and better way to purchase a vehicle. We believe that the more positive your car buying experience, the more you're going to love your Kia. When we say the right thing to do, we're talking about putting the customer's needs first. It's about being honest and transparent, both in sales and in the service department, and it's also about treating everyone equally. If you haven't considered Kia Victoria, I would say come see it for yourself. You're going to be impressed with the people that you meet and impressed with the product.
Driftwood Brewery, Esquimalt, crafting world-class beer since 2008. This is where beer is made. With care, intention, and respect for the process, every batch reflects the place we're from and the standards we hold ourselves to. And this is where it's enjoyed. Our tasting room, offering a rotating lineup of West Coast favorites and seasonal releases, right here in Esquimalt. Paired with Thai-inspired food from Dumpling Drop, we're open 7 days a week. Driftwood Brewery, great beer, confidently made. Cheers.
All right, and welcome back to the Esquimalt BC Men's Provincials. Looks like Cam DeYoung just took a big spot of 4 in that last end, and like I was saying, I think Cam is kind of lives off of those shots. He loves them, and he makes them a lot of the time.
Yeah. See if we can turn things around in this end.
Thankfully, we are playing at the BC Men's Provincials, and as we know, these games are 10 ends, so obviously a long time. They've obviously got a lot of work to do, but they have time to come back. It all starts here. If you get a deuce here, that can go a long way for the confidence.
Absolutely. Corey with a nice draw to not just covering a pin. This a little bit.
Yep, Bradwood's second here. Looks pretty close. Looks like they might be making an audible to go around.
Nope. Fighter at the back of the house. Not the best position, but usable possibly in the later game.
Yep.
Alex Horvath with his second rock, or first rock.
And these teams don't have they haven't played each other this year. Cam has had a busy schedule, playing really well this year. I believe he's number 14 in Canada right now. But these teams do have history with the players on the ice have history against each other. The last time Jim Cotter was playing at a provincials, he actually lost the 1-2 game to Sterling and Alex when they were playing for Gautier. So Jim has seen these guys. He knows what they're capable of.
Yeah. March with his first rock at the end.
Connor Dean trying to hold it up.
And that opens up the center a little bit.
It's a pretty good shot from Tim March.
Yeah, held on the outer edge of the 12-foot there too. Cam's gonna pull the guard out and maybe get the double. Nicely done. Wow.
And he catches the back one.
Wow. Well, that changes things a little bit. Look at the termination on Alex. Looks down at the rock just as he lets go. Interesting. Just to make sure he gets that line.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times I've talked to Alex about that. I also do it. It's you're almost picking a spot in front of the hog line to run it over. And it's just kind of, it's almost like a cue, like a reminder of how to throw it, where to set it. All right, Tim's going to be throwing the draw here around the corner, I believe. That corner guard is still in place, so they're going to try to keep using it.
Yeah. Like it's going to be a nicely placed corner.
And Carter
Right in.
leaning on it.
Oh,
Just a little short.
a little bit, yeah. Cam. Ruthless. Taking all the rocks they can use away from them. Sterling with his first rock. I like how they're playing with controlled weight here. They're not throwing with the super heavy peel weights all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving an easier opportunity for those rolls when they need it without just overcurl just a bit.
Yeah, Cam kind of called Alex on right out of the hand, so I don't know if Sterling just slid a little tight on that or if he just got it going a little bit, but I don't think they love the throw out of the hand. But I do agree with your point that I really like the control weights. I think teams have gone a lot better at throwing board weights on almost all their hits, and it just gives you so much control of the shooter.
Yeah, 100%. If you can keep it around when you want to keep it around, that just gives you so much more opportunity to do so. It's looking like a mess of red rocks hanging around the center, the 4-foot though.
Yeah, and this is Connor's first, but it is.
Tim March really leaning into that to get it going.
Yeah, they were just trying to freeze in the corner that rock, and it just overcurled a little bit and came up a little light.
Yeah. Right. Cam getting a bit aggressive here. Put the freeze down on the rock in the house, make it harder to remove them all.
Yeah, seeing that stagger up front, sitting 3, I think Cam's seeing a really good opportunity here. Put a lot of pressure on the back end.
Yeah, if Sterling can make this freeze here, that makes it really awkward to get all the red rocks out of the 4-foot.
Just kind of cleaning it on and off. It looks pretty close. Alex going to try to make this finish.
Just a little short, but not a bad spot though.
No, it's still very usable. I like Jim's call here.
Yeah, if he can get that center open, he's got an opportunity. Connor with his last rock, trying to clear that center.
Jim on it right away.
Oh, gets one off the back.
Still a lot better for them.
Yeah. If you're Cam, do you try to pop another one in the 4-foot just to make it difficult, or?
I think if I'm Cam here, I like just hitting that top one on the nose, sitting there. Just because Jim's gonna have to make a play, and even if Jim comes around top button, you're always gonna have the run back straight back.
Yeah, if you exchange that blue rock for a red rock, then you have something to work with.
And if he's able to hit this one on the nose, it's going to be the same shot on his next if Jim comes around. So I like this call. where you're just on and off it the whole way. And that's really good.
Yeah. Jim's first rock of the end.
Yeah, they've got a decision here.
Yeah, that's a difficult spot to be in. There's not really much of an option for drawing in without leaving it open for a soft tap back.
Looks like Jim might be lining up the blue red double. I'm thinking.
That's what he's looking at. He's got to find some way to keep at least one of his blue rocks in play with this shot, though. If he wants to try to get a deuce out of this end.
I believe they're playing the red straight back onto the one top four and make that double.
It looks like that's the call, yeah. To clear the house out, then maybe he has an opportunity to play the blue to the red, but well, he's gonna leave a couple rocks up at the top of the house, and Cam may just opt to draw around behind.
Yeah, I think knowing Cam, I think Cam is probably just going to ignore it and draw one top four, because he'll be sitting shot after this. And
Jim Cotter with the backswing. Just holding the line.
well, wow.
Whoa.
Actually,
Second shot.
Yeah, I know Jim indicated in the hack to throw the out turn. I don't know I mean, maybe he was trying to hit the red really thin, and he might have, because that was close to getting them all.
It really was. Cam's going to split the house and force a draw to one by the looks of it, or a hit for one.
Yep. I think. I mean, if you're Cam, I don't think you could have a better start to your provincials. I think you're pretty happy.
It's a pretty good game. Cam did come in with a bye for the first draw as well.
Yeah, it can always be hard to having that bye and then playing a team that just got off the ice. Obviously, they're going to have a pretty good grasp on it, but in that first end, Team Wood just struggled a little bit, and Cam was able to punish them early. Victoria and Alex leaning on it.
Yeah. A lot of finish. Hog to T-line there. We got good 2 feet. Yep. Even with all that scrubbing.
But that's really good. He put it on the T-line, didn't leave a double. Mission accomplished for Team Jong.
Yeah, that's a pretty flat double there. I don't think that's going to happen. So just going to hit and stick for one. As long as he gets nose or just a little low side, he should be fine. Cotter with the last rock of the second end. Good. Tim March just trying to curl it a bit here.
Tim's really leaning on it.
Ooh, get nose. Yeah. Yeah, holds it for second, or for 1 point.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Welcome back to the BC Men's and Women's Provincials presented by Best Western here at the Archie Browning Sports Center in Esquimalt, British Columbia. We have Team de Jong versus Team Wood, and Team de Jong is up 4-1 after that 4 spot they took in the first end and then a nice force in the second end. So they have hammer here in 3, and they've just looked really good.
Yeah, really strong start to the provincials for this team.
And that's another really good rock from Corey Chester, going top button there.
Yep. Drawn behind the guard, just making it difficult for the steal right off the top. Just opting to ignore putting a corner of their own up.
Yeah, and Team Wood here throwing the double center. It's only the third end, but you are down 3 after being forced. It kind of forces your hand into this play.
Yeah.
Brad would have liked that to stop a little higher because there is a double peel there, but it's not the worst place it could be. And Corey's going to be asked here to come around and just try to match another one top 4. Alex and Sterling working on it. Now Sterling trying to get it to get over there.
Get that area in there, top. Not bad.
Yeah, that's a really good spot. That's a good start. That's 2 really good rocks from Corey. Obviously, Corey is a very accomplished mixed doubles player. Him and Taylor Reese Hansen were at the trials for the mixed doubles at the start of this year. So he really has really good draw weight, really good soft game.
Yeah, it's great to see him using that to the team's advantage here.
It's one thing, he was playing second last year, and I was also playing second, and it felt like every time we played these guys, he didn't miss a draw. He was always putting a lot of pressure on me.
Nicely done. Wow.
It's a very good shot from Tim March.
Yeah. Not. Looks like it's not quite shot rock, but great position.
Alex going to be asked here to play the double peel. Made a pistol last end that put a lot of pressure on Team Wood, and seeing if he can make another good one.
I don't think that was quite the call made there, but
No, but
still opens the center up a bit more, so that's not worst in the world. Brad opting to put another centerline guard up.
yeah, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of center guards here from Team Wood for the rest of the end.
Yeah.
Tim March, lifetime lead, or has played lead for a long time. So he has a lot of experience throwing these shots, just like the come around he made last end and now throwing the high guard. That's really
Wow.
good.
That is really good. You can't get much higher than that.
No, we always talk about separation on the center guards when you're throwing a second one, and he achieved that there.
For sure. Well managed there too with the sweepers, knowing that it's over the hog line and not panicking too much.
Yep.
Alex throwing another bullet down the center, trying to get that roll of their own rock out of the way.
Yeah, they took a run at that double peel, but it might have hurt them slightly just because of how much swing there is on the ice. Where his shooter actually ended up, it might have taken away that out-turn draw.
It may have.
And I know that they would have to get to the button, but it definitely would probably force their hand to throw in the in-turn at this moment.
Corey was sweeping that hard to try to get it out of the way, but I think you're right. It did cover that part of the out-turn draw on that side. There's another centerline guard. It's going to be trading rocks here for a bit, I think.
That one got a little more finish than Tim's did.
It did. Cam's ignoring the top guard now because the second guard isn't covered.
Yeah, I like this. I think it opens up that red to blue. This is the problem guard right now.
100%.
Sterling's first here.
Corey just cleaning that, like that line, just a straight peel.
It doesn't change anything for Team Wood here. You're just going to be throwing the tight center now instead of the high one.
Yeah. Connor Dean with his first rock. No, his second rock.
Yep, he's probably looking to throw the same weight he just did on the last one and just let Tim sweep it a little bit. Try to get it just a little deeper. Tim just kind of heavy cleaning it.
Pushing for curl a little bit here. Just got to get it to that center line. Jim taking over. Wow, what a finish.
That was managed really well.
It really was. It just goes to show you how much that directional sweeping can really affect a rock.
For sure. I think especially when you have Tim March sweeping them. I think he's one of our better sweepers in the country, and he's got a lot of experience playing with some big names like John Epping, Glenn Howard. He's got a lot of experience that he brings to this team.
100%. I also like how they traded off at the end there. Jim finishing just... Oh, rare miss. That changes things a little bit.
Yeah, Sterling just got that one going back a little bit too much. But you're right. This is a really good opportunity now for Team Wood. And now they're looking at this outturn draw that we were referencing earlier.
I was just going to say, looking at it from this angle now, you can really see that that red rock is really in the way for that outturn draw.
Yeah, it looks like Brad and Jim are kind of indicating that the same things kind of we are, is it looks really tight to get it, because you have to keep it wide enough to actually not, it sounds crazy, but to miss the rock top 8, you have to, it's really hard to keep it wide enough.
The finish on this side, they should be able to almost bury that.
Yeah, I think you get enough swing in the ice that they can get this biting the center line kind of on the T line, and it should be fully buried around that blue.
Yeah, even if it goes to the back button, just for that bury. As long as they don't leave a little bit exposed for Cam just to freeze down to it.
Jim Cotter's first here. Made a really nice draw on the first end.
Yes, he did. See if we can make a repeat here. Just sneak that in behind.
Tim and Connor working on it. Connor now trying to carve it over.
Going for distance. Got it by the red. That's good for second shot, but it is exposed a little. Is there enough there to chip to get that double, or did it just stuff on the blue on the button?
I'm thinking right now that I don't think he could quite see enough of it. I think it's probably always staying around. I think he might be able to get it moving a little bit if he threw a little softer weight.
Yeah. Interesting call. I mean, the port is there.
Yeah, they're playing the blue straight back. Is that the?
It looks like that's what the call is, and it is there. I think the red stuffs or chips one blue, and may stick, but
yeah, it might spin down to maybe onto the corner of the other blue. I think at best.
Cam with his first rock. Let's see what happens.
Alex on it right out of his hand. Touched it.
Moved it out of the way a little bit. It's a bit far back. Can't really come off of it for anything.
Cam is second shot, and yeah, I mean, if Jim tries to draw to that same spot, kind of back button, Cam will be able to come off that blue. So I think that's a pretty good result from Cam.
Yeah. If Jim doesn't make this shot, he ends up a little short. What are Cam's options then?
I think even if Jim comes up a little short, I think Cam could probably play that hit and roll off the blue to the button for one. I think it's high enough. So I think that's why I think Jim is going to be playing it first.
It does look like that is the call. Yeah.
I think because if Jim can roll this to back button, even back four, like even all the way over, as long as it's biting the forefoot somewhere, I think Cam's going to have a really hard time scoring. He's going to have to be throwing the in-turn draw to the side of the button for one.
It's a gutsy call, but it's a very good call. Paul Cheka, the fifth on Cam's team, giving him a bit of a eyeball there.
Yeah, Paul's a good guy, and he does a lot for this team. He's kind of a fifth/coach.
Yeah. Paul, of course, been in the curling realm for a long time in the competitive game. It's good for second shot now.
Didn't quite get the roll all the way over, but that's a really good shot. I think it looks like Cam's just going to slide down and pick it out and give up one.
If he can get just inside that, I don't think he can even get roll to shot. Yeah, I think Cam was going to be giving up 1 point here, but worth it to hold the hammer when you're up 3.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. With the score the way it is Cam doesn't want to be trying a shot here for 2 and end up giving up 2. He just wants to pick this out and move on to the next end up 2 with hammer.
100%.
Yep, job accomplished.
All right. We'll be back with the fourth end after these messages.
Driftwood Brewery, Esquimalt, crafting world-class beer since 2008. This is where beer is made. With care, intention, and respect for the process, every batch reflects the place we're from and the standards we hold ourselves to. And this is where it's enjoyed. Our tasting room, offering a rotating lineup of West Coast favorites and seasonal releases, right here in Esquimalt. Paired with Thai-inspired food from Dumpling Drop, we're open 7 days a week. Driftwood Brewery, great beer, confidently made. Cheers!
Welcome back to the BC men's and women's provincials here in Esquimalt, British Columbia. We had Team Wood there in the third end, stealing 1 to make it 4-2. Cam Jong electing to just give up 1, which I believe was the right call, and they're going to retain hammer here, up 2, playing the fourth end.
Yeah, it's a really good call. Especially at the early part of the game, there's got lots of room to play out for points still. Always better to retain control of the hammer at this point. All right. Interesting. Jim Cotter calling for a freeze to the red rock that just slipped just behind T instead of placing the second guard.
Yeah, a little different than from the last end we just watched. The same setup, throw the center guard first, and Cam came around. But last time Corey's rock was top button, top 4, and they elected to throw a second center, where Jim saw this one slide a little bit behind the T-line, and he's making the decision, let's freeze one in there now, and then throw the center guards later.
Yeah, because if you may as well take advantage of this, because otherwise Cam's just going to throw another one down there himself.
100%. And Brad Wood did take advantage. That's a really good throw from him.
Yeah.
Struggled with his draw weight a little bit in the first and second end, coming deep on his second rock in both ends, but those last two ends, he's put all 4 of his rocks in a perfect spot.
Yeah, really well managed shot there. Corey Chester with his second rock here.
And Cam called kind of a back 4 shot. Goal is to try to tap this one on the nose and just try to unlock yours a little bit. Looks like he's going to come up a little light.
Just a little bit. It does look like blue is shot there, so that's already a much better start to this end for Team Wood.
Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised by Brad coming top 8 here. I definitely thought they'd be throwing a second center.
I think he's concerned possibly with the way that ice is swinging right now. With just like a board or a hack weight is still there, is enough to unlock the rocks.
Yeah, that's very true.
So with a deeper rock in the house like this, it gives them a bit more opportunity to lock things up without giving that come around with a soft tap weight.
Yeah, and that's a really good shot from Tim. Might have tapped it a little bit further than he wanted, but it's still a good spot. And Alex is going to be asked here to play another run back.
Looking a little tight already. Not. Oh, wow. Nice.
Really good from Alex. They wanted that. Cam liked hitting that one on the nose to leave the center guard his color.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah, at this point, if you can run the red straight back, the red on the top of the 4, the blue will move out of the way a little bit, lose their back red, but
Now Tim's being asked to throw the center guard. I thought that's what they indicated. I can't tell.
this looks like it's got to be guard weight for sure. Connor really trying to push it over there.
Yeah. Just trying to throw a high center. It looks like it's going to be a little heavy, though.
Just a little tap. Play the red back or just going to pull the blue out? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like the double peel. I think if you saw the scoreboard, if it was 2-2, for example, I think Alex would be playing the straight run back. But I think with your 2-point lead, just blow up the middle and
That's
just
coming off the center. There we go. Wow, nicely done.
yeah, really good from Alex. Two really good throws.
Tight guard.
Yep, Connor Dean's first rock here, going to be asked to throw the guard, and I think they're probably going to be throwing three more guards after this one too. Just kind of guarding for your life right now.
Cam giving a little wave to somebody in the audience there.
Yeah, he is the hometown favorite this year. Actually, this whole team of Team Jong is from Victoria, so they know a lot of people in the area.
They are a number of teams from the Victoria Curling Club in this provincials. Well represented.
Yeah, Victoria does a pretty good job at developing curlers, and every year that goes by, I feel like more and more curlers end up in Victoria. I don't exactly know what's happening, but all my friends in the Okanagan have gone to Victoria, it seems like.
Oh, wow. And that is a very open house all of a sudden. Wood still first shot. Trying to pop another one behind the lone remaining guard here.
Yeah, I don't think Team Wood is too unhappy about the situation. You still got the center guard. You can still put one top 4 here and put pressure on Cam. So it's really moving. I want it to peek out the other side.
Just a whoa. A lot of finish right at the very end there. 3/4 out.
Yeah, you don't have to get tight to guards, that's for sure. You almost want to miss the guards by a foot, because you know when that, and once you get to the top of the house, that you're going to get a foot or two of finish. And I don't want to say these teams aren't used to it, because all these guys have played in multiple provincials and nationals all throughout the ice. But when you're playing all throughout the year on curling clubs, you don't usually get as much finish as you do here at the provincial championships. And sometimes that takes a little bit of adjusting to get used to it again, just to see the rocks, the way they're moving down the ice, and seeing that late finish, because you usually don't see that throughout the year.
With his first rock, looks like he's gonna try to get that little roll to the inside here. Try to hide behind the one long guard.
Yeah, I think that was an important 2 shots from Sterling, playing the run back and then making the little 3/4 rock dig. Those were 2 good throws from him after flashing in the last end, give him a little more confidence.
Yeah. I'm trying to hold that line just a little.
Trying to curl it at
Little
the end.
curl now. Half a rock there still.
It was a good effort.
Is that lined up for a double now? Cam tries it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he'll take it on. Is it better to roll over to the 8-foot, kind of where his broom is, or is it better to make the double? It looks like he's going to be playing the hack waiter, try to just probably hit and roll to where Sterling's broom is there.
First skip rock for Team Jong. Corey's got his head down already. Just relying on that communication from Alex.
Yeah, that was a really good sweep from Corey, and like you said, yeah, just head down the whole way. Let Alex communicate what the line callers are saying, and just give it your all.
Yeah. This could be an interesting situation. So Team Wood's last rock of the 4th end here. If they end up hitting and sticking on this red. Cam's last rock will not be shot if he hits and sticks with it as well. So
Right, gonna kind of put Cam into the out-turn draw probably that nobody has seen this end.
Correct. Tim March leaning into that a little bit. Just keep that line early.
Connor's going to be asked to carve this one. Looks pretty good. It's going to roll.
Well, that looks like a force to 1.
Yep.
Cam opting to play the hit and roll rather than this draw to the 8-foot.
Yeah, and I'm even surprised that they're not looking a little bit at the double. I know it's obviously with the scoreboard you take 1, you're pretty happy, but it's only about a quarter rock. It's not super thin. You only have to move that red one, or sorry, you only have to move the blue one about 2 feet to bring that second one into play. I'm kind of surprised they didn't look at it a little bit.
It's there. I guess Cam must be probably thinking it's not really worth the risk. Could give up 1 doing that too, right?
Yep. No, you're 100% right. And I think obviously going up 5-2 is a very good situation.
Cam with last rock facing 2 in a house. Roll. Well, that was pretty much lined up on that second blue. All right, end of the 4th end. We'll be back at the 5th end at the BC Provincials.
When I was younger, I thought purpose had to be big, like changing the world. But then there's the little things, like fueling someone's car before an early shift, or helping someone find the perfect bottle to toast a special occasion, making sure the shelves are full so a family can cook dinner, so those kids can have their favorite treats, like giving back, like making everyone's day just a bit better. Maybe that's exactly our purpose.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game.
All right, welcome back here to the BC Men's and Women's Provincials here at the Archie Brown Sports Center in Esquimalt, BC. Team Jong has taken a 5-2 lead over Team Wood. Cam made a nice hit and roll in his last to score 1 there, and Team Wood has the hammer here again, down 3 in there. They're going to be looking for some offense here going into the 5th end.
Yeah, classic offense move. We're just going to place a corner guard. Jim indicating exactly where he wants it here.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if they throw 2 corner guards here. 1 on each side, and
that's pretty well placed. Chester, second rock, being asked to put a guard up. Something he's used to doing now, but not something he usually does when he plays doubles.
Yeah, that's very true. It's the doubles is a very touch-based game, but it's usually always into the rings. You're never usually playing outside the rings very often.
Yeah. Nicely placed. Jim going to use this existing corner guard, draw behind the 8-foot.
Yep, Brad Wood's second here. Looks like it's really moving early.
Sure is. We haven't seen a lot of rocks come off the center yet in this game. It's a great finish off the center line too.
Yep, that's a really good spot.
Little exposed around the outturn side possibly, but
I usually never, when I was playing, I never minded always showing a little bit on this side, the side that is showing right now, just because that corner guard, if you ever get a little tight and you chip it into your red or chip it into the center, it's never usually a good outcome. Now, obviously, he could chase it, but I think Alex is trying to split here. This is something a lot of the top teams are doing nowadays. With the 5 rock rule and not being able to remove rocks, a lot of teams are trying to throw like almost like a T-line back four at this shot. Hit a quarter rock, roll your shooter to the middle, and just move this blue like a foot over.
yeah, it's a really wow. That's a great angle that they got this.
And Alex is very close to making it.
Moved it a little bit. Corner guard still covering the blue in the house, but Brad Wood looking to bring another blue rock into the house to use.
Yeah, I think Tim is asked here to just freeze into that pocket top 8 that was just created by Alex's last there.
Yeah, if you can get that freeze, then any contact will get the 2 reds in the house out of the way.
Yep, at this point in the end and with the score the way it is, you really just want to cause chaos. That's what our teams always used to call it. You just want to have as many rocks in there as possible, as many rocks to jam on. Just give your team something, an opportunity to score multiple.
Okay, I'm thinking about trying to tick that. Oh, no. Changes his mind. Draw down to the button.
Yeah, I think Cam kind of realized that if they played that run back there, that Team Wood is going to be perfectly okay with that, and Tim's probably going to be playing the same shot he just played into the pocket. So Cam's probably thinking here, why don't we just beat him there?
Yeah, 100%. Even if they push this, tap their own red back to the button, it still changes the angles in this pocket here.
100%. I think with the 5 rock rule, I think a good defense is a good offense these days. I never really liked letting up the gas and just hitting everything because there's always going to be rocks in play with the 5 rock rule. So I always think you just kind of have to embrace it and just continue to be aggressive. And like we said, that's a really good throw from Tim. Like you said, changed the angles a little bit, brought another one in.
Yeah. Contemplating what to do. Do they ever play the blue into the pocket of the reds right now? Is there enough of that blue rock visible to do that?
It's looked like what Brad Wood initially called, but from the other end, I think... I don't know if they're trying to play this red onto the blue, or if they're just straight peeling this. But that is what Brad Wood initially looked like he was trying to call, was to play something on that blue into the pocket. It's not a bad result. Cam's got to be a little bit careful here. He can't really get rid of that blue without moving his reds.
Just trying to soft tap on his second shot here. Second red shot.
Yeah, I think if you come straight to the nose on that red top 8, or even if you get onto the corner of that blue, I think both of those are really good outcomes. And like I said, they're kind of embracing the chaos here. They know that there's going to be rocks in play, and you can't really get away from it. So let's beat them to the spots.
Yeah, just keep those angles favorable.
Yeah, this is Sterling's first. Alex and Corey leaning on it.
Just a bit of an over curl. That's not terrible though, because that does give them the guards out front just to protect the house at this point.
Yeah, it's really not that bad.
So
I'm not really seeing anything right away.
No, I mean, there might be a bit of a gap through those two guards, but it's tight if there is one there. Playing the red in squirts the blue out the back and doesn't really remove the two shot reds.
I think I like this call. So they're playing the blue run back onto the two reds, and because of the angles the blue is coming at, it's always going to be sliding beneath the corner guard. So I think they're probably just throwing like normal weight at this and trying to play the blue run back onto the two reds and try to keep the one they're running in. Tim March leaning on it. It's gonna over curl and get their own blue. That's really unlucky.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate outcome.
Tim was on this right out of the hand. Connor might have just been a hair tight because this is not that far off from being really good. I think if you hit it an inch higher and make straight contact with the reds instead of that blue first, I think it would have been a really good outcome.
Yeah, it was really close to being made, but just couldn't hold that line just a little wider. So Cam's asking Sterling to come around and pop another red in the forefoot there. As you said, embrace the chaos, get some more rocks in there.
Yeah, I think Cam made a really good decision early in the end on Alex's rocks. He kind of realized that with the way the rocks were placed, that even if he started trying to peel everything out, that there was always still going to be something left over. So,
wow, that really came up short.
All right, looks like it's going to be the same shot again. Same thing, blue onto those two reds, and
yeah, if they can get the right angle, they both go. Connor Dean with his second rock.
Tim on this one again. It's really close. Oh. Just overswept a hair, but that was a really good try from Connor. Those are maybe not the exact result they wanted, but those were two really good throws from Connor. He gave those both a really good chance to make it.
Yeah, and at this point, the lone remaining shot rock, a red shot rock, is pretty exposed. Cam's going to have to place another center guard to try to protect it at this point.
Yeah, and you're not taking on much risk here. The blue guards aren't exactly able to be raised onto the red. So if you make a good guard here, your red should be pretty safe for now. And you know that Jim's going to be either running in one of your own or he's going to be trying to clean up the middle. So Cam's first here in the 5th end. Corey and Alex really leaning on it. Now just has to sit, and it will. That's a good place from
That's
Cam.
a really good spot. Can they run the red on the outturned side straight back and get the double that way?
Yeah, I think so. I think Jim's gonna pick this middle one here to try to play the run back, because if he's off either way, he's gonna be opening up the middle again, and Cam has to make the guard again, I believe.
Yeah, that's a good call.
These guys are pretty good, but you never know with the ice curling as much as it does. Sometimes these guards are really hard to replace them. So this is kind of like almost 2 shots in 1. He's cleaning up the middle, and if he catches the back one, that's like a bonus.
100%. Jim Cotter with his first rock here. Tim March on it already, trying to curl just a bit. Oh. Well.
It's still not that bad.
No, because he's got an option now to raise that blue to the red on the button. Cam, if he pulls this off, though, is going to have 2 red rocks in there, as long as he doesn't create a pocket to catch the blue.
Yeah, and I don't think he's taking on a ton of risk here. I mean, obviously he can't hit that blue one behind the corner guard anyways, but I do believe that red in the back right spot of the end zone is outcounting the top blue one on the left. So I think I like this call, that even if you do leave a pocket and Jim's playing the run back, I'm pretty sure it's only for 2.
I think you're right. I think that red is outcounting the outer blue. Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, Cam DeYoung's second here with the 3-point lead and aiming to apply a lot of pressure onto Team Wood and Jim Cotter's last, because if anything, he's going to be playing a kind of a 10-12 foot run back against multiple, and it's never a great sign.
It's really hanging on that one side. And now it's just turning in. Is that the first rock we've seen that far out on that side?
I believe so, yeah. I don't remember. The only other one would have been Sterling's earlier in the end, but even his was a little bit tighter to the line.
Yeah. So that was a 15.3 second rock right there. So not too surprising. It ended up a little high.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things that I noticed from going from a curling club to an arena like this setting is if you don't use a path for a while, you have to be really on top of it. Sometimes it can be 6-8 feet slower. And I think they might not have communicated the weight quite too properly, or Cam just threw it a little lighter than he wanted.
Yeah. Jim looking for the run back here.
Same shot he just played. Looks like he's close. They're on and off.
Oh. Steal of 1 for Jong in the 5th end, heading into the 5th end break.
Yes. Whoa. Oh boy. Jong.
Driftwood Brewery, Esquimalt, crafting world-class beer since 2008. This is where beer is made with care, intention, and respect for the process. Every batch reflects the place we're from and the standards we hold ourselves to. And this is where it's enjoyed. Our tasting room, offering a rotating lineup of West Coast favorites and seasonal releases, right here in Esquimalt. Paired with Thai-inspired food from Dumpling Drop, we're open 7 days a week. Driftwood Brewery, great beer, confidently made. Cheers.
The Kia Victoria experience is a different and better way to purchase a vehicle. We believe that the more positive your car buying experience, the more you're going to love your Kia. When we say the right thing to do, we're talking about putting the customer's needs first. It's about being honest and transparent, both in sales and in the service department, and it's also about treating everyone equally. If you haven't considered Kia Victoria, I would say come see it for yourself. You're going to be impressed with the people that you meet and impressed with the product.
All right, welcome back to the Archie Browning Sports Center here. We're in a fifth end break between Team de Jong and Team Wood. Team de Jong is leading 6-2 over Team Wood here. And on sheet B, Team Tully and Team Craig are tied 2-2 after the fifth end. Team Carell and Team Wakefield 4-2 after 4. I don't know what happened in the fifth end there. And then we have Team McMillan up 4-1 over Heffley, playing the fifth end right now. And Team Brown up 6-1 over Team Wilson after 5. And that's a quick little summary as we're in the fifth end break here of Team Wood. Team de Jong, stay with us, and we'll be back after these messages.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
When I was younger, I thought purpose had to be big, like changing the world. But then there's the little things, like fueling someone's car before an early shift, or helping someone find the perfect bottle to toast a special occasion. making sure the shelves are full so a family can cook dinner, so those kids can have their favorite treats. Like giving back, like making everyone's day just a bit better. Maybe that's exactly our purpose.
Welcome back to the Archie Browning Sports Center here in the 6th end of our BC men's and women's provincials. Team Jong has a 6-2 lead over Team Wood here in the 6th end. Jim Cotter on his last in 5 was just playing a run back for 2, and it just overcurled a little bit, so giving up a steal of 1 to Team Jong. And now this is kind of where at the point where Team Wood's going to have to be kind of all-out offense here from now on.
100%. Put that corner guard up first thing.
Yep, Brad set them up nice in the 4th and 5th end, and he's going to have to do it again here. And for the rest of the ends going on, it all starts with your lead setting up the ends, and it's really important at this level.
Just a little bit heavy finish on that one. Slid a little wide.
I would say out of all the players on the ice that Brad probably has a little bit of the softest release when he lets go of the rock. Sometimes he can get a little less rotation on the rock, and it just gets that little extra finish.
Sterling seems to think this is a bit heavy. Going for the split corner guards here.
Yeah, this surprises me a little bit just with where the first one slid. I think no matter where you put this one, you might be setting up a double peel, but I do prefer the split center or corner guards rather than stacking it. If they put this in a good spot, though, there's going to be no double peel, and it looks like Brad's done that.
Yeah, those are pretty flat. Not a lot of room to roll that far. Now, Alex with his first rock in the 6th end. Just softly managing that rock in there, sweeping to get it to center. Nicely done.
Yeah, Alex playing lead for many years. He has that shot mastered, I can promise you. Tim March being asked here to come around kind of top 8 area, try to freeze onto one of these. It's really close.
It does. Just a soft tap. That's pretty good spot.
Yeah, I think this is. I think they're really happy with the start of this end. That's three good shots in a row, and I mean when you're down multiple points, you kind of need to play every end perfect. So this is a good start to this end.
Yeah. Alex being asked to pop another red rock into the 4-foot area. Sterling trying to hold that line. It looks over curling. Just going to tap the center guard just a little. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex's weight looks like it was pretty close to kind of top 8 weight. So I don't know if they just got caught in the spot a little bit or if Alex was a little tight. But yeah, Alex isn't going to be too happy with that result. All right, Tim going to be asked for the pretty much the same shot here. Try to freeze top 8. Just now coming around on this in-turn side. Kind of get rocks on both the corners, and then you can kind of start moving things around after this one.
It looks pretty close here. Connor just trying to hold line a little.
Yep, really good.
Seen a lot of rocks in play this game.
Yeah, we have. Playing with Cam for so long and playing against him, he's definitely a skip that likes rocks and plays. He feels like he has the 4-foot in his back pocket at all times, so he doesn't mind bailing the team out or making big run backs. So he definitely likes to be aggressive.
Yeah, one advantage with that is you can generate a lot of points, as we saw in the first end in this game, given the opportunity.
For sure. Yeah, I've never been a part of higher scoring games than when I was playing with Cam. That's a really good throw from Sterling.
Is it time to make a play on the blue rock and try to move the reds out the back?
I think so. I think this is a really good opportunity here for Connor and Team Wood. You can kind of see half of that blue, and if he hits half a rock with kind of board bumper weight that they called, he should be able to roll his shooter behind the corner guard and leave one red in the 4-foot. So I think this is a perfect time to go.
Tim March trying to hold that line. By the guard, and as called.
Really good.
Well executed.
Yeah, that's a really good throw from Connor, and that's why, and that right there is why Tim March is on the team. He was kind of on that the whole way, and he just held it as straight as possible and was able to keep that hit and roll alive. That was a really good sweep from Tim.
Time to come down and talk.
Yeah, the saving grace right now for Team De Jong is that red that Sterling just threw. Thankfully, he got that in a really good spot. They should be able to... They're kind of indicating like a quarter rock, probably peel weight. And you might be able to touch both of the blues.
It does look like that's a possibility. Might move the red off the top of the 4 a bit, but I don't think there's going to be much transfer and momentum there. Sterling is looking at another shot.
Don't know if I love that, what Sterling is indicating, that red. I think if you ever missed your red and hit it onto the blue and lost your red top 4, that would be...
Yeah. No, I think the safer shot, as you called, would be to play the peel down. You get the red off the top 8 there, get one or both of the blues out.
For sure, and even if Sterling hits the guard, I mean it's not the end of the world. It opens up the middle, and Team Wood still does have to make a move on both those reds, so.
At this point, if your team would, you're probably playing on the outside, the intern side blue to try to pop that red off the top 4-foot. So
yeah, Connor would probably be asked to play the same shot he just did.
Yeah.
So I think they decided on they are going to make a move on that red top 8, in front of both those blues, but I think they're electing to throw a little less weight and try to keep the shooter around.
Yeah, this looks like a 10 or 11 second shot. Just in that controlled range.
Cleaning it. Looks pretty close, kind of on and off. Now trying to get Corey to carve it over a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty good, I think.
I think red is still shot.
I think you were probably right though with your initial that no matter what that they were probably always going to be playing that intern shot again on their blue. That's kind of what I'm seeing at first glance, is to play that same shot that Connor just played, roll another one behind the corner, and then hit the blue onto the red.
Yeah. There's not much point in Team Wood throwing down through that gap.
Yeah, it's kind of all I'm seeing.
I mean, if they do come down and hit that pocket with the red and the blue rock on the top of the 4-foot, it is there, but does that get them anything? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, they would be shot with 1 and 2, but
it's not a lot of ice. I don't know. They might be throwing some weight at this.
I think so, with that ice and how little of that rock there is visible there. This is going to be full peel.
It doesn't look like he threw it too hard, but definitely a normal, maybe an up normal type weight.
Yeah. Just trying to curl it a little here. Oh, wow. Not a bad outcome. That red is visible on the top button now.
Yeah, I didn't see that actually. I didn't see the blue touching the red touching the back of that blue and moving it over. That's actually a really good outcome from Team Wood. They would have liked to hit it a little bit thicker just to get a little more action on it, but this is not too bad.
No. Jong is forced to try to come up with some way to cover that red rock in the 4-foot now.
Yeah, so I think his call here is to hit the red right behind Sterling's broom, right on the nose, and kind of get rid of a blue and roll the one you're running kind of over to guard. It's kind of like a 2-in-1 shot.
Yeah. He hits just low side on that. He should get this.
Yeah, there's kind of two ways that you can make this. His shooter can hit a little low, a little high, and I think they're both good results. Cam DeYoung's first here in 6 without hammer. Alex Horvath working on this one. Hits it a little low, and just like that. A really good throw from Cam.
Yep. Covered the hole too. That was a really good outcome.
Yeah, Cam's playing really well today. He's made a lot of shots. And that pistol he made in the first end to kind of give them this cushion, and now he's made all the, maybe not super difficult shots, but he's made all the every shot just kind of good. There's been no mistakes from him.
Yeah, 100%. Looks like Jim's first rock is going to attempt a triple here.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's trying to hit it just high side and trying to make a triple here to line 1.
Tip trying to push it in there.
Okay, made a double. I don't know. Tim took a quick glance at it. I don't know if anybody's seeing if red or blue is closer there. It's close.
It is really close. I think it might be blue.
Yeah, at first glance, I'd probably agree with you.
Yeah. Thick with her little zoom in there. I think that that looks blue to me.
Yeah, I would agree with you. So it's a good outcome from Jim. He didn't see the exact triple that he wanted, but he got rid of the two rocks that were sitting shot and left him shot and forcing Cam to make a play.
Looks like Cam's opting to do the red, red, blue here.
Yeah, he just threw in a really similar spot, so he should have a pretty good idea what this is going to do.
Yeah, at this point, any contact on the red at the top 8 foot should get that blue going. So Cam makes his shot. Will be a force of a draw somehow for Team Wood. A little up.
Alex cleaning it. And perfect.
All right, looks like Dion is sitting 3. Team Wood with the last rock of the 6th and attempting to get a single point. It's a hit and stick will do it. A little roll 2 would be okay.
Yep. Team Wood just hasn't really been able to generate anything with the hammer today. Cam's kind of made all the important big shots and just kind of has taken away every end. It looked like Team Wood was setting up for a multiple this end, and Cam made 2 really good throws.
Just a little quiet, I think. Tim called there.
Well,
it's looking good. All right, 1 point for Team Wood in the 6th end. We'll be back with you to watch the 7th.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Driftwood Brewery, Esquimalt, crafting world-class beer since 2008. This is where beer is made. With care, intention, and respect for the process, every batch reflects the place we're from and the standards we hold ourselves to. And this is where it's enjoyed. Our tasting room, offering a rotating lineup of West Coast favorites and seasonal releases, right here in Esquimalt. Paired with Thai-inspired food from Dumpling Drop, we're open 7 days a week. Driftwood Brewery, great beer, confidently made. Cheers.
All right, welcome back to the BC Men's and Women's Championships here in Esquimalt, British Columbia, presented by Best Western this week. And Team Jong and Team Wood, it's 6-3 Team Jong, and with Brad Wood's first rock sliding top 12 there, that's not the way they wanted this end to start.
No. Cam is, now he's got a hammer here. He's just going to play a clean end by the looks of it. No point in leaving that sitting around.
Nope, Corey just being asked to hit and roll to the side. And that's also not ideal by Corey.
No. A roll one way or the other would have been good, but yeah, sticking around the center is not the greatest.
Brad's just going to try to throw a high one here, and if he makes this one good, you kind of forget about the first one and you move on with the end.
Exactly. This is a point was sweeper, you start panicking and like, is this going to make it? Nicely done. Ooh. And Cam's just going to go right in. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's been successful so far. Corey's had really good draw weight all day today. I expect him to probably make this pretty close. Super's kind of backing off of it. Alex trying to finish this one at the end. Looks like it's going to end up pretty good.
That finish on those rocks with the sweeping is crazy.
Yeah, I think you really notice it in the arenas as well. I think it's exaggerated a little bit. I think the general consensus is the ice is a little bit softer, we find, and the carve, it just is a little bit more effective, and especially if you're right off a rock on the arena and then you get it carving, you can really make it move. Connor's going to try to do the same thing here.
Yeah, just moved around the rock to get to that position to push it in.
Yep, that's a really good throw from Tim.
And time to peel.
The one event Team Wood played in this year was the Penticton Curling Classic. It's always a big event every year that draws a lot of the top teams. And when I was watching these guys, I was kind of giving Jim a hard time that Connor was sweeping every rock and he was just cheering along on the side. He told me that he's eligible for seniors now, so he shouldn't be sweeping anyways. So,
well, once he gets into seniors, he's gonna be the young one on the correct team.
Yeah, exactly. He is the young one on the team. I believe he's playing with Brad Wood in seniors as well. And he said, I don't know who's going to be sweeping my rocks, but I might have to jump up and sweep my own. So,
he's used to doing that. He plays with Jocelyn, his daughter, in doubles as well.
Tim being asked to put another one down on top, and looks like he will do just that. The guard is pretty high, and obviously we've seen a lot of late finish. I think he can... I don't know if Alex can get rid of this, but he can definitely move their blues around a little bit. Try to unlock that freeze on your red.
Yeah. Yeah, with the finish, this shouldn't be a problem. Sterling really leaning into that. That is going already.
That really curled.
It sure did.
It's not a bad result, though.
No. Ended up with a corner guard. Might be able to use that later in the end.
Yeah, Brad was initially indicating the tap, but I think they want to save that for a little bit later. I think if you unlock it now, I think with Sterling's hitting ability, I think he's just gonna kind of make everything fly. So I think you want to delay it a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree. Got to get that guard up there, push that Oh, he wants the other turn. Interesting. Just a little worried about that, the outside wall of the arena, possibly. They did play down that one side at that one rock, and it kind of died.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen 2 or 3 draws on that side have come up like substantially later than what the teams have wanted. So I definitely I don't usually notice a huge difference, but especially when that side of the sheet hasn't been used for most of the game, it probably is a couple feet slow over there.
Yeah. How at the finish, they did get most of that covered there. Cam's opting just for a straight peel here.
Yeah, he's playing the peel, but I like the weight choice here. They're throwing board weight, just a little bit softer to. If you peel it and you roll out, that's not the end of the world. But this weight gives him a chance of making the peel, but also keeping the shooter in the ring. So you never know. When you blow up the middle later on in the end, it might be your second point.
Yeah, it's a great choice of weight there. That should stick around right in the 12-foot ring.
Yeah, and Team Wood is always ignoring it. That's just kind of a safety blanket over there. If Cam has to make a double with peel and roll out later on, well, he's still scoring, so.
Yeah.
Connor's going to be playing the same shot here. Probably hoping that this card gets a little bit higher than the last one, but...
That was Jim Cotter just proving that he does sweep a little bit there.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes he does have to. Oh, and a little rub off the guard into a perfect center.
Wow. Did they plan for that? That was pretty good.
Knowing Connor, he'll probably say they did plan for that, but I don't think that was the initial call. Nonetheless, it's a very good spot for Connor.
It is. They moved that corner over just a bit too.
And Cam's got a decision to make here. You can't really make a run at the middle right now because it's really hard to get more than one of the blues gone.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of separation there.
And looks like they're electing to just kind of ignore the middle and say, we're shot rock, let's draw down and sit 2.
Are they talking about going to the back of the 4-foot here?
I believe so, yeah. I think if you came down and could walk it down and place it, I think ideal spot is just back 4, fully buried around everything, and that you can get buried around a rock top 4 and just try to sit 2. I think this is a lot like the 5th end when Cam decided not to peel and just start drawing because he realized no matter how many times he peeled, there was always going to be rocks there. Well, I think this is the same kind of situation. He's like, there's always going to be rocks there. Let's beat them to the spot.
Yeah, exactly. May as well make sure the shot rocks are your own. Now, that's a little wider than they were hoping for. Is there enough room to get inside that shot?
Yeah, I think so.
Possibly even rub the back of the red, the top red.
I think Jim's even thinking, even if he just freezes to the nose here, or just a hair low, like Cam can never get it out. So yeah, I think they're trying to get into the pocket.
Time. Gonna have a team discussion.
Yeah. No coach on this team would, but obviously between Jim and Tim March, they've got a lot of experience in big games. Connor being a skip for his whole life, they know what they're doing.
100%. So yeah, they're just looking at the angles here. They hit and roll under. I kind of like your idea of the freeze. Even if it's frozen on the inside corner, it's not the worst. But a straight nose freeze is probably best.
Yeah, kind of where Tim is indicating, or Jim, like I think they, I don't know what they're saying, but it kind of sounds like they're talking like, yeah, if we get to nose or a little low, um, Cam's gonna have a really hard time getting it out because that red top four should always catch it. It should always catch the backside of it.
There might be enough room for it to be squeezed through that hole if it's just a little bit too inside, but they're all discussing this placement on exactly where to freeze it by the looks of things.
Yeah, it looks like they're all in agreement on the same shot. They're all just disagreeing on where exactly it should be. Yeah, everybody's broom is kind of 3 inches from each other's.
Yeah, it looks like Brad kind of wants to tap that red back a little bit and roll inside.
I think there's enough room there that if Jim kind of throws like a back line weight is kind of what I'm seeing with that ice there. If he hits the red that Sterling just threw, I think he should be able to roll kind of underneath the other red and just sit top button.
Yeah, even if he hits it just low side of nose, it should roll over, maybe contact the other red and just kind of sit there.
I think kind of in the end that I would assume that they kind of decided, hey, we need to sit shot here. We need to put Cam under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Because if you're not shot here, Cam might just guard or something, and it's a pretty good shot from Jim. I mean, it's kind of exactly what they called.
Yeah, so does Cam just come down and tap that out and still end up sitting shot? That would force Wood to draw for try to get to the shot again with their last rock.
Yeah, I think Cam is making the right call here. I think he's just picking it out. And then you'll probably see Jim on his last throw this out turn draw as we're looking around it. Just try to go back button and...
Yeah, this is a safe shot for sure. I mean, the only other thing Cam could try to do is outdraw it, but what's the point really? Especially when you've got that red guard up front that could possibly be in the way.
100%. Cam's first here, just looking to pick out the rock just thrown by Jim. And, looks like he'll just do that. Snuck it by the top one.
I had pretty good pace. I wasn't going to have that crazy snap that we've been seeing for a lot of the softer takeouts, so well managed.
Jim's actually looking at playing the run back maybe.
Well, you know, if he can get that just right, he could end up with 2, maybe 3.
I think the goal is probably to hit the guard right on the nose. I think that leaves his rocks in a really good spot. And yeah, I think you're right. I think he could lie 3 here if he hits it just right.
It doesn't really have a lot of other options. Drawing to the back 4. Jong's just going to follow it down with a soft tap.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was initially looking at was that out turn draw to back 4, but I mean this is a really good call too. It makes Cam look at multiple.
Not a lot of weight on this.
Warner trying to carve it over. Got to touch the center line. It's like a really good throw from Jim.
Wow, great shot.
Really good. And he'll sit 2. Yep.
Staggered them a little bit. It might be Look at this. Yeah, Dean trying to push that over.
Yeah, that was a really good line call from Brad Wood. When the ice is curling this much, you got to predict the curl, especially with the brushers that can make it curl even more nowadays. It can be tricky, but he managed that one really well.
He really did. Yeah, it looks like Jong is going to attempt to draw to the 4-foot here for a single.
Yeah, and like we said, that this is that in-turn side. I know Sterling threw this on his second, so they should have a good idea of the speed. You're trying to draw to the same spot that Sterling did, kind of side of the 4-foot there, so they should have a good idea of what this is doing.
Yeah, they've had a couple rocks down this side and this end, so it should be a little bit more predictable than it was a couple ends ago when it came up short.
Sterling and Alex kind of lightly cleaning it early. Looks like they think it's close.
Jong picks up 1 point with the hammer in the 7th end. We'll see you back at the BC Provincials for the 8th.
Driftwood Brewery, Esquimalt, crafting world-class beer since 2008. This is where beer is made. With care, intention, and respect for the process, every batch reflects the place we're from and the standards we hold ourselves to. And this is where it's enjoyed. Our tasting room, offering a rotating lineup of West Coast favorites and seasonal releases, right here in Esquimalt. Paired with Thai-inspired food from Dumpling Drop, we're open 7 days a week. Driftwood Brewery, great beer, confidently made. Cheers.
All right, welcome back to the BC Men's and Women's Provincial Championships, here presented by Best Western in Esquimalt, BC. We're watching Team Jong and Team Wood, and Team Jong, Cam made a really nice draw on his last there in 7. Kind of like what I was saying, he doesn't mind rocks and play because he feels like he has the 4-foot in his back pocket at all times.
Looks like calling for a second rock or almost in the 4-foot there just to really crowd up the house. You're up by 4 points. There's not a lot of reason not to put the pressure on.
Yep, for sure. And I have an update from one of the other sheets on the women's side. Team Brown has defeated Team Wilson 11-1 after 6 ends. I think Team Brown, they're probably feeling pretty good to the start of this provincials. They're I would definitely say one of the favorites on the women's side, and they've started off strong. And funny enough, Jim Cotter is actually the coach of Team Brown, so he's doing double duties this week here in Esquimalt.
Hard to coach while you're playing, but
yeah, I told him he's probably not going to leave the arena for the whole week. He'll be here either playing or coaching. So
yeah, sounds like he's going to have a lot of DoorDash or Uber Eats going on there.
He obviously coached Team Brown at the trials this year.
Yeah, Brown's been in the BC playdowns and provincials quite a number of times for a few years now. It's always a good, strong showing.
Yeah, for sure. Even back to her junior career, she played in a lot of BC junior women's finals. She even won at Canadian Juniors, I believe, in 2014. So yeah, she's always been kind of one of those top teens that's just always on the door knocking on breaking through to that elite scene.
Yeah, she's had a couple really strong games already this year. Just definitely get the confidence going.
Yeah, and speaking of the junior provincials, they're actually being hosted at the same time as our BC men's and women's provincials this year. Next door in the Esquimalt Curling Club. These buildings are connected, so it'll be cool to see the junior men's and women's finals being played over on the arena ice. Give a good experience for those teams coming up in the junior ranks.
Yeah, it's really a great way to have the playdowns. Always have your friends and support structure there. A lot of these the players in the men's and women's would be the coaches for the juniors, so. Great.
Alex throwing his second here, playing a little hit and roll behind the center and makes no mistake.
Oh. Got control of that forefoot as you were talking about earlier. Team Wood.
No, go ahead.
Oh, it's Team Wood going for the trying to get some rocks off the center line there, or off the button, so they can get control of that forefoot themselves.
For sure, and that's kind of one thing I noticed at throwing the double corners. I mean, Team Wood has to down 4, but when a team is playing this well in the middle, it makes it really hard because you almost feel like you're wasting those rocks over there.
It does. It's really hard to commit to that, for sure. And when the play is to the middle, by the time you've got those rocks up, it's really struggling to find a way to use them.
Especially with Cam here, they've peeled when they needed to, but more times than not, Cam has just kind of embraced, hey, we're playing in the middle. I'm gonna beat them to the spots. There's no reason to peel. We have good angles, and let's keep the good angles. So when the other team isn't exactly cooperating either, it sure makes it challenging at this level to score a lot of points to come back.
Alex and Corey just giving that a good scrub, make sure it gets there.
Gonna come up a little light, but that's still a really good spot for Team Jong.
It is.
Connor being asked to play this in-turn hit and roll, kind of with board weight. He played a very similar shot in the 6th then and made it perfect. So see if he can recreate that here and make the roll over again.
How far is that blue rock on the top forefoot going to move with this?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're right beside each other or if it's a little bit lower than the blue.
I think they're side by side, if I remember from the top down.
Tim working this one, letting off. Now Jim trying to carve it over.
Jim trying to put it back.
Yeah.
Wow. Nicely done.
Yep, that's a really good throw from Connor. He made a one exactly like that, or a very similar spot in the 6th end, and he's made it again here. These shots are difficult when the ice is curling as much as it is.
Yeah, you know it's close when they're going back and forth, though. That was really well managed for the line call, too.
Yeah, and if I had Tim March sweeping my rocks, I probably would never be wide either. Don't take the broom out of that guy's hand. He's a very good sweeper, and just throw the right way to be close.
Yeah. Jim probably loves that. He gets to sit back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Jim's looking for.
Starting with the soft tap here.
I'm gonna play a run back. Ooh, just a little wide on that one.
Just a little wide, yeah. Would take advantage of this now. Do you roll in? Or do you roll to the corner?
Connor looking for the hit and roll, sorry?
Either roll is probably fine, as long as it's not nose.
Yes. I always kind of liked when we were throwing these shots to commit to a side.
Well, yeah, because otherwise you end up with nose.
Otherwise you end up nose anyways.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
Yeah, I always like I never liked when it was like, well, either one is okay. Well, let's pick one. Let's play for it. Because yeah, it's a pretty big difference between the two shots.
All right. Jong with his first rock here. Yeah, that ice, he's going to be playing a little upweight, but
I think he's trying to make that double.
Probably.
I think like a thick half of the rock should be pretty close to going into the side of that with not much separation between them.
Yeah, so this should be normal plus here. Chester trying to hold that line. Just by the guard. Not bad.
Didn't make the double, but rolled to a really good spot.
It did. Hard to remove now that red off the edge of the 8 without finding some way to contact the blue in the edge of the 8 as well. That's a rock to worry about another day, though. Talking about which angles and which rock to take out here. They roll under for second shot.
Yeah, I think no matter like, I think if you hit this one and roll under like they called, I think Cam's always going to be trying to remove that rock onto the side of the forefoot and rolling behind his center guard. Because even if he hits it on the nose, you're never going to have more than 2.
Correct, yeah. Jim Cotter delivering his first rock. See if we can get that. Oh, that looks like a bit too much. Just overcurled a bit there. Gives Cam an opportunity to get rid of the shot blue here and end up sitting 2.
Yeah, Jim definitely didn't want to roll that far because now even if Cam makes nose here, I mean, there's not going to be a shot for multiple.
No. It's going to be a force to 1 again, unfortunately. Really well done. Good shot.
Yeah.
Well, in-turn draw to the 4-foot for 1. I don't see any way to make that double. That's pretty flat.
I think they're looking at playing the run back on the blue onto the red and then hoping that it goes flat enough across. And I think it probably does. Obviously, it's not easy.
No.
And I think it's only for 2, but I think if Team Wood here, if they only get 1, I think they're probably shaking. So I think
would
you gotta
say,
play the shot for multiple.
Yeah. 9th end down 3 points. Without the hammer, yeah. May as well go for the points here.
Like I said, I do think this is possible. I think it is there. I think it's obviously very difficult, but I do think it's possible. Tim working it.
Nope.
And that's going to be steal 1, and the gloves are off. That's handshakes for Team Jong. They take an 8-3 win here at their first game back at the Provincials as the defending champs, knocking off Jim Cotter. They played really good.
Yeah, really well played game all round. Everybody on the De Jong team just making those shots every time they needed to. Just Cotter just couldn't generate any spots to get any points, so yeah, well played. Thank you for tuning in to the BC Provincials here in Esquimalt.